Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be going more in depth on my trip to Barcelona. I showed some clips of that or some photos of that on my first video I made. So I just wanted to be able to go more in depth, talk about the packing, booking hostels, all of the travel in general. So I hope you guys enjoy. I started off by just wanting to do a trip like this. I had known people that had done big international trips and I'd seen videos of it and it just looked so fun. I had done some traveling internationally myself when I went to school over there and when I went to go visit some family, so I wanted to plan and do a trip on my own. There's so many cool places to explore over there. Narrowing it down and actually picking where you want to go is difficult. And I was planning it out and where I'd be this day and this day, and I finally took a step back and was realizing that a day and a half in each country is just not actually going to be enjoyable. It's going to be exhausting. So I decided to narrow it down. So then I had to figure out hostels and packing. I was able to use an app called Hostel World. I booked all of the hostels through that. It was super easy, user-friendly, just overall really good app to use for that stuff. Packing was definitely an interesting one because I had never packed for a backpacking trip like this. It was nice because I wasn't doing a full-on backpacking trip where I needed to bring a tent and food. I was just having to pack for the day-to-day, so that made it a little different and easier. My sister already had a bag. She had done some trip before where she bought a nice bag and she was willing to let me use it, which was really nice. So all I needed was to find what to put inside the bag, and I'd watched a bunch of videos like this on that type of travel, and everyone was saying how you need the fancy merino wool or smart wool stuff because it's just better for travel. So I went and dropped way more money than I should at REI and bought a bunch of nice travel clothes. Looking at it now, I probably wouldn't have bought all the same pieces I did. There's a couple of them, like the underwear and socks, which were really nice to have higher quality stuff for travel like that. But when it came to the smart wool t-shirts, they're great for days when you're exercising and stuff. I realized that when I was over there, I thought I'd be fine with just wearing very, very casual clothes, but I still found myself wanting to dress up a bit. So I wish I would have brought a couple pieces just from my normal closet that I could have brought with me to wear over there. I packed about 3 outfits total, I think, and then 2 pairs of shoes. I had sandals and then some like walking shoes / running shoes, and then my toiletries, and just had 2 separate bags for that. So I could have my bags with like toothpaste and face wash and shampoo, and then my other one with like the toothbrush and all that stuff. Another aspect of it is I really wanted to be able to bring my camera stuff to it because I was like, it would be so cool to document this experience. But then I was realizing that I was really just documenting this trip for myself because at that moment I wasn't actually creating any content or posting anywhere. So I decided that it'd make more sense to leave my bigger camera equipment here and just bring my phone and shoot on that, because at this point most modern phones can actually shoot really impressive stuff. Another thing is I did throw an AirTag in my main big bag and then also my little day bag. So once I had all the packing done, it was starting to feel like it was actually going to happen. The trip was getting closer and closer, and I had been budgeting for a couple months before this, planning it out. Luckily, I've been working at Dutch Bros, which is very flexible with their employees, which I very much appreciate because I've been able to go on many cool trips. Another part is you want to be able to bring a friend with you. You want to have someone to experience a trip with you. And you'll meet a lot of cool people along the way, but it is fun to have someone with you that you know. It is hard to find someone that will actually commit to that because, like I said, you have to be able to find the time off and save up the money, and it's not always doable for a lot of people. But luckily, one of my best friends, I was actually able to make this trip happen with him. So the day finally came when we were actually making it happen. We were driving up to Denver. Shae was actually doing a show that night, so my friend and I hung out at Shae's show, got a hotel room, and then we left that next morning super early and had the full day of travel. Any of those trips, if you've gone on them, you know the flights are long, but it was so nice to be able to travel with my friend. So we actually made it there and started heading toward our hostel. And it was an unreal experience because you are so jet lagged and you're just tired, but it's amazing. It's so cool. You're in a different place, and for me, it was such a mix of emotions because I was so excited that this trip was actually happening, and then I was also just terrified because I had planned this trip on my own. It's the first big trip like this that I had planned, and I was trying to think if I had everything I needed, if I planned too many things, if I didn't plan enough things, and I was just really anxious. And I was very thankful to have my friend there to be able to talk me through it. And now I know about myself. I should have known this because I've done travel like this before, and jet lag messes me up for the first 3 days. It takes me a second to actually recover to where I can get an okay mind state where I'm not freaking out. But once I got past that, I had such an amazing time. We were able to explore some of the most gorgeous places I've ever seen and meet some amazing people and enjoy some great food. And I'm so glad I got to spend it with one of my friends. He was only planning to stay for the first 2 weeks of the trip because he had stuff he had to get to, and I originally had my full 2 months planned out, but then decided with the anxiety I had at the beginning, I did shorten my trip to just a month, and I spent it in Barcelona. Thinking about it now, I wish I did stay my full 2 months, and explore the places I had originally planned, but at the time I was very anxious, and I do understand why I cut down the trip, and it didn't make the trip any less enjoyable. And I know in the future I will go back out and actually go to those places I had planned out. So that will be good, and I will get to that. And when I do that, I'm sure you guys will get to come along and see. But the last 2 weeks of my trip were a lot of fun and pushing myself out of my comfort zone, meeting new people, staying in these hostels, having some weird interactions and then some really cool interactions, and just really pushing myself. And it was an amazing trip. I feel like I grew so much as a person, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity that I got to go out there and do that. The day came where I had planned to head back, and another long day of travel, and I finally got back home, and I was very happy to be back home, but also I felt the post-trip depression hitting. When you're able to go explore somewhere like that, it's amazing, but then when you go back into your normal everyday life, you do miss it. You want to be able to go be exploring new places every day, and you kind of just have to remind yourself that no, where you're at's good, and you'll get to go do an adventure like that again soon. And if you guys have any questions about the trip or packing or anything like that, please feel free to leave a comment. And if you've been enjoying these talking videos, let me know. And if you want to see some other stuff, also let me know about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed seeing more pictures from the trip. It's been amazing connecting with you all again, and I just want to say thanks again for watching. I will see you guys in a couple weeks.